I think it's time we start. Okay. So, hi everyone. I hope you're enjoying your time here at BlanketCon 25. This is a panel for the upcoming mod event, Mod Garden, where modders will, over a long period of time, be able to create a fleshed out mods with the hope of getting people to develop things that are sustainable and featureful enough to become long-term projects. I'm Merchant Calico. I'm the founder of Mod Garden, which I haphazardly created a year ago and revealed shortly after leaving the ModFest team. On good terms, don't worry. Silver, do you
Hello.
like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hello, I'm Sylph. I help organize Mod Garden and I maintain two of its mods, Silicate and Barricade.
Ultras?
I'm Ultraslot. I do various parts of the development, like work on the front end and back end, doing stuff on both, which I'll explain more in depth later in the talk.
So, this talk will highlight what a mod garden is, how we operate, and we'll go into the discussion about our helper mods and tooling. We will also be announcing details about the first mod garden event. So, what is Mod Garden? Mod Garden is a new modding event which was built around being a longer ModFest, as more time frame was better suited for a different organization to ModFest. Our goal is to get authors to create and cultivate new mods. We hope to set up authors for having projects that they can maintain long term. I think I mentioned this earlier, but Mod Garden is more so built around creating content mods. However, utility and other mods are entirely welcome too. Our time frame is quite different to ModFests, to really allow for the mods created to be thought out and polished. For example, as soon as a theme is revealed, developers will have 1 week of planning. This is a time you may use for anything other than working on the actual mod. Plan out features, find a team to work with. The mod's your garden as long as it's not in the final mod. After the initial planning stage, developers will have 8 weeks or 2 months to develop their mod. This is also a good time for us to prepare running the event, such as working on the world, working on any utilities that are necessary for the world to function, and anything else that would be worth fixing or having within the event. After development and initial bugs are ironed out, ModGarden will open its building server. This is very similar to ModFest's building server process, but we are still going to, but this is around like a month, this is going to be around like a month long. So, yeah. The entire process of Mod Garden will take around 3.5 months, so I would suggest really like thinking about like being in for the long term if you're going to sign up to Mod Garden. So the world will pop up when ready. The world will pop up when ready, which is whenever the game, it's whenever builders are pretty much done and like we decide like a time to like open up the world. We also having different awards to ModFest. Been also built around encouraging specific qualities within mods, such as as well as a Team's Pick award, to highlight mods that might have been left in the dark within user voting. So pretty much, we also have a little system for awards on the website as well, so you can like display your awards on a profile on your website. These are called plants, and plants are obtained when you actually like do stuff within the server. And players are not exempt from rewards either. Players are not exempt from rewards either, because there might be like shards are also a award that you can get on Mod Garden. So like you can like collect shards as you go, and then as a player you might want to like log in and like collect those shards, and they'll show on your profile if you have your Minecraft account linked, which we have to still set up. So, sign-ups are not just available for modders, as players can do so too. You probably will want to you only really need to link your Minecraft account if you're a player, but you can link Moderinth if you want as well. I don't mind. Mod Garden is also open to expanding into different types of events for both modders and players. However, we wish to start small and have expectations not exceed our capabilities for now. So like, who knows? We might actually have like a lot more events going on in the future, and like that will be, and certain people may like involve and like may be involved, and like maybe we'll have like some player oriented events as well. Like, we're open to expanding is the point here, and we're just starting with Mod Garden as our main event for now. We're hoping to eventually refine the formula as well. ModFest has done a great job with refining its formula as of recent, but with Mod Garden being new, we're bound to get things wrong and learn from them. So I'll now be leading into Sylv, who will be talking about the utility mods of Mod Garden.
So Barricade is ModGarden's barrier mapping tool. It adds new barriers like the directional barriers and the advanced barriers. All non-directional barriers in Barricade use a library called Silicate to determine which entities should collide. So an early build of Barricade was utilized in ModFest 1.21, with ModFest now utilizing the version and us showcasing Barricade at BlanketCon 25. So Barricade and Silicate both also have their own booths, which you can use the warp command to go to. Ultras?
Hello. I'm here to talk about the kind of the programming, the full stack of the ModGarden website in the back end. ModGarden has needed quite a bit of programming work for things like the website, the backing API on the back end, and even the Discord bot, which accesses and uses that API. ModGarden's software stack has been worked on by multiple members of ModGarden, obviously. The backend is using a language familiar to most of us modders. It's using Java and using libraries like Javelin as a web framework to host the REST JSON API that ModGarden is built on, and hosting the data with a simple SQLite database. And the backend even
Yeah, you're late.
uh, the backend even uses Mojang's DFU library data fixer upper. Yeah, not the DFU. It uses only using the codecs from it for encoding and decoding to the database. And the other side of ModGarden's stack is the front end, which uses various libraries, mostly Astro as the web framework. And you might wonder why Astro over other web frameworks. It's just the one I used most. And for styling, Tailwind CSS, which has helped make it a lot quicker designing and working on it. Way quicker than writing CSS manually, of course. With the website, there's been a few different page routes that are used. There's the home page, which we have explaining Mod Garden, what it is, how to participate, and all of our social media links, of course. Then the events page, which hooks from the API, listing all of the events, past and present and current. And we even added a blog, which currently only has a post detailing the typical rundown of a Mod Garden event and the timeline of how it runs. And one of the things that's had the most work put into it has to be the user pages, which displays all of the projects and submissions to events a user has, along with hosting their garden, which consists of different unique flowers for each reward they gain. There'll be flowers for like how many shards you have and any specific event awards that an event has. And we also have a Discord bot, which is used for the specific front activities, such as having users register and linking their Modrinth account, as well as having tools for running the Discord, such as messaging and logging. Next up, I'll give it to Calico to talk about the first Mod Garden.
Okay, hold on, I'm just... So we cannot announce the current theme yet, as that is more so interlinked with the planning stage. We specifically are doing the event at the planning stage because we are specifically announcing the theme at the planning stage so people don't like... So then just to prevent like people like being like, we can't quite announce the theme yet because it's not the right time to do so. I can announce the theme and therefore planning stage will start, which the first mod garden will start on the 25th of May. This should give us enough time to prepare our currently incomplete systems. We hope to see some of you there. Don't worry if what I've said about participating doesn't quite appeal to you, as you can always come and view what modders have made whilst the garden server is up. So, does anybody have any, so this is the mic right here. You can use this, you can walk up to the mic to ask any questions that you might have. We'll be doing a little Q&A here, so feel free to answer. Feel free to come up and ask questions. Okay. So we'll do this, so yeah, just walk up to the thing if you want to ask a question, Kichiro.
Oh wait, do I speak into the mic?
Yeah, you can like basically right click the mic and like, yeah, you're speaking into it, I think.
Hello. Oh dude, that is
Hello.
so cool. Oh my god, okay. Okay, so
How are mod ideas decided upon?
How, the theme? The theme, you mean? Okay, so the themes are typically decided upon by like, a few of us within the team. Like we specifically want the themes to be very open-ended, that like you can do multiple things with them. And, we want to be able to have the theme be very open-ended, so like you can like do stuff with them, and well, yeah, and like the themes, like typically like a regular jam theme, typically like a lot of like jam themes will typically like run off this. Like I've seen some jams that are like kind of like I think the themes can get very specific at times. ModFest is also very good with themes. I will say, like their themes have been pretty nice. Even like double themes is like, they've been open. So themes, I believe, should be open and like open to many things that you can do within the garden. And yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Okay, Lily, feel free to ask your question.
Can you hear me? Am I doing this right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Cool. How
What was that? You cut out.
Oh, I accidentally hit the hardware mute button on my mouse.
Oh yeah, okay. There we go.
How long does the Mod Garden server stay up for? Like, how long does the event run for after the 2 months?
Okay. So after the development period and building ends, how long will it run up for? Well, really depends. I think the main thing that we're gonna look for is like probably at least a month at the very least, and we want to like make sure it's open up for like a while, so then people can like have the opportunity to play on it. We're probably not gonna do what Patbox did, where like you have the previous server running while the next mod garden's on, but at the very least we want to like keep it alive and while people are actually using it. And of course, world downloads will be available. Hopefully that answers your question. Hello, okay, yeah, you can right-click the mic. There we go. Yeah,
I
me too,
also had a system mute accidentally.
Okay, good to know. So,
Well, something like BlanketCon, it's much easier to showcase these smaller mods. How is it intended for content-focused mods to display what they have?
okay, so again, it's similar to something like BlanketCon or ModFest, where like you can like have like where you have like a designated build to showcase your mod on the world server, and yeah. So to show mods off, you can like we're gonna be using a lot of like the internal tools that ModFest has. Like we share tools because you know that's nice and pretty good. So yeah, please tell me if that didn't answer your question. I will be happy. So yeah, basically we will be basically the question is like, we will be. So okay, I'm sorry. I find it a bit hard to like. A lot of things are going through my mind right now. So basically, the thing is, right? We need to. So yeah, small mod. If you want to submit a smaller mod to Mod Garden, or like not a huge mod, that's also allowed. You can even submit multiple if you want. You just have to like designate like a small area to build your booth and explain your features. So it's a bit similar to the BlanketCon ModFest process in terms of how you actually submit your features and work on like showcasing them. That's really up to you. We'll be doing like a review process for the booths to make sure that like we'll be doing review processes for the booths to make sure that like everyone's booth isn't like say like make sure everyone's booth is like okay and like explains the features in a satisfactory way rather than like I don't know like making a maze and hiding a shard in it. Like that's not like, you know. Okay, so any other questions? I think I've answered that one quite well. So Mod Garden, you said that Mod Garden cultivates mods. Do you prefer brand new mods, Mod Jam, or prefer existing mods? Okay, Mod Garden. So Mod Garden is about making new mods. However, as I said earlier, there might be events for existing mods as well, such as like such as the one that we brought up in team chat recently, where you like add in like a previous entry or like an existing mod you have and you want to work and you just focus on working on it for a mod garden. I don't know what they're going to be called, but it's like, no, this not quite at BlanketCon. It'd more be around like creating new features for an existing mod rather than like just, you know, submitting the existing. Yeah, Mod Garden Grow is a good name. You have another question? Okay, sure.
Will Mod Garden have a build phase just like ModFest and BlanketCon? If so,
Yes.
how long will that last?
How long will that last? Ultimately, I think ultimately we are thinking like a month to make sure that like, ultimately we are thinking around a month to make sure because like, we don't want to make the event itself too long, although we might open it to extending if like absolutely necessary. Because like ultimately again, this isn't set in stone because again like Mod Garden is pretty much a work in progress thing. Like we haven't had time to refine ourselves into like something. And yeah, I'll lead on to the next question. What is it? What's your next question?
Are there any requirements you have to follow in terms of making a mod for Mod Garden?
Okay. So basically it would just be the basic stuff, like say like no like and like follow the rules. Don't do anything triggering, stuff like that.
Also, you should at least loosely follow the theme.
Yeah, and loosely following the theme as well. Like, you can stretch the theme as much as you want, but you can stretch the theme as much as you want. Watching on the stream. On the requirements question. Do mods need to have their source visible when submitting? Yes, they do. This is so then we can like iron out any like unwanted behavior and make sure that I did forget to mention that we are finalizing our submission rules and open source is a requirement. But basically but yeah, it's like easier to patch if something goes wrong. Exactly. It's like we don't source visible pretty much. Source visible. Like pretty much we need to like have people open to like be able to like look at your source, as well as like if you're not going to provide the fixes to us, if you're not going to send us fixes, well we probably aren't going to like, if you're not going to be cooperative, similar thing. It's like a trust rule. It's like we trust you that we trust you all to submit mods and we trust you all to submit mods and that will work and like fix bugs when necessary. But if you break that trust, well, yeah, you're probably just not gonna be let in to the current mod garden. Okay, so any more questions? And you have a question as well. Okay, what would you say the question?
My question was, what is the recommended programming language for each mod in the mod garden?
Okay. Honestly, you can use whatever the hell you want. Like, we're not going to be restrictive on, like, Java or Kotlin or whatever you want to use. Because, like, I just think that,
Can you use Lisp?
Can you use Lisp? If you can figure out how to use...
There is a Lisp on the JVM closure.
If you can figure out how to use Lisp, sure.
Can you submit mods in a language that isn't JVM? If you can figure out how to compile it.
Good question. I would say so, but I will have to be able... Well, one of us will have to be able to understand the code in some regard. So don't be surprised if we ask you questions. Where and when can I sign up for ModGarden? Okay, so ModGarden's website, modgarden.net, has a link to our Discord server, which you can access. Which you can also access through this link, discord.modgarden.net. And so the main thing that I will say about this is that so if you want to join the first of all, join the Discord server. Second, we aren't ready yet, but we will have an event at May 25th. May 25th is the date we have announced for the first mod garden to start and enter its planning stage. So planning stage is on the user's end, not our end, don't worry. Do you prefer catching the latest or pick a so-called LTS version? We are not biased in this regard, actually. So we are not going to be doing latest every time, nor are we going to be doing LTS versions every time. Ultimately, it's what we think is the best fit. Similar with loaders. We're doing Neo4j and we might do Neo4j in the future, but the current one's Fabric 1.21.5, because Neo4j doesn't really have a scene on 1.21.5. As well as our audience is more Fabric oriented at the moment. So hope that explains, like, we don't really want to, like, stick ourselves to one thing, because that sounds like not the best idea. So yeah. Do you think you will go back to 1.16.5, 1.7.10, 1.2.5, beta 1.7.3? Good question. I doubt we're gonna go to like 1.16 or like 1.12. Because those two are not really versions that I super care about. As I don't really see much point with like those two versions in particular, but as for other versions, the hard thing is like getting the tooling up for those versions. The hard thing is getting up the tooling for those versions, so probably not. Because we'd have to set up tooling for those versions, and like, that sounds like a lot of work for what would be little.
We'd also have to set up
construction.
Yeah, we'd have to set up like all of the other utility mods like Barricade and like Fire Blanket. That'd probably be entirely different, but yeah, all of that would have to be backported too.
Like, we're not going to be running like, I don't know, like 4 events in a year, for example, because that's too much. It's going to be probably like 1 or 2 at most. 2 at most, probably just one this year. I'm taking a long break in the second half of the year. 2 events if we really feel like it is ultimately the goal for Mod Garden. So yeah, we don't want to like keep running events while like we don't want to just like go, oh yeah, here's an event, oh yeah, here's an event, oh yeah, here's an event.
All right, I think we should wrap it up now.
I think we should wrap it up now. So yeah, I think that we've answered all of the questions. If you arrived late, please do re-look at the recording. Because some questions will be explained a bit better there in like our pre-scripted area. Probably loads to link to the video on the blog. That's a great idea. Yeah, do that. So yeah, thank you all for listening.